What's up, guys? Hey, how we doing? So, man, bad news today. We have a historic motocross track closed down, and I got some thoughts on that. We had the Australian Supercross race. Man, Joey Savacci, wow, that was crazy. He got the win, but how he did it was absolutely crazy. We had the World Vet Nationals at Glen, Helen, the most iconic track in the United States. And Motocross Action did a great job streaming it live. Got to watch the Plus 30 pros today, and dang, Filthy Phil looked pretty good out there as a vet rider. I know you vet riders get sore. Let's face it, we're old. You've got to try Nano Extreme. This is the best pain cream that I've ever used. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I forgot to put it on recently because my shoulder feels so good. It doesn't hurt anymore. It's crazy how this stuff works. Nano Extreme has extended the buy one, get one free Cooksey special to the first week of November. So if you get your order in before the 7th, when you put 2 in your cart and you use code Cooksey, you'll get one of those for free. So hit up Nano Extreme because I know you guys are hurting. And speaking of the Vet Nationals, Coach Rob was out there. Coach Rob was out there experiencing the Vet Nationals. If you go to the Coach Rob store, he's got his nutrition supplement packages. And clearly from my voice, I probably need to get the immune package because, man, this cold has been kicking my butt. Anyway, head over to the Coach Rob store, get your nutrition bundles. Oh, and don't forget, guys, the unsubscribe thing is happening again. So people who have been subscribed to the channel are getting unsubscribed randomly. So if you are subscribed and want to stay subscribed, just double check and make sure that's still there because it's still happening. I'm still getting emails from people saying, hey, I was unsubscribed for no reason. So please double check that. Thanks, guys. Now let's get into it.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Man, I was so disappointed to hear that the historic track in Southern California, Lake Elsinore, is closing for good. And it's a sad situation where they had a lawsuit with a little girl who lost her life. And that's horrific. Man, I don't want to see another track closing. And it's these lawsuits. These tracks can't withstand these lawsuits. Whether they're valid or not, they destroy these tracks. Now, the tracks in Southern California have all had an insurance rate increase. Thank you, X-Brand Goggles and Rich Taylor. So now to add this to it, that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Had Rich Taylor not done his thing, maybe it doesn't reach this, maybe it does. I don't know. But either way, the fact that someone who makes a living off of dirt bike riders contributed to that from X-Brand Goggles sucks. I am very, very disappointed about Lake Elsinore being shut down. Man, we need more tracks. That is the lifeblood of our industry. And where's the AMA where all this is happening? Isn't the AMA designed to protect us, our rights, our riding areas and stuff like that? How come they're not stepping up to help these tracks who are being shut down by lawsuits? Like I said, some are real, some are frivolous, like the X-Brand one. Wait, they're too busy inducting Davey Coombs' mom to the Hall of Fame in front of Steve Lamson. Yeah, you heard that right. They put Davey Coombs' mom in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, they're taking all the money that they require you to pay. Most races these days, you have to have an AMA membership or you can't compete. What do they give you back in return for that? They claim that they protect your rights as a motorcycle. They claim they keep riding areas open. They obviously do none of that. None of that. This is one of the biggest scams in the sport. Manufacturers, where are you guys on this one? These are places where people use the products that you sell, yet you're still contributing by you are being complicit by letting this stuff happen. You are still, in fact, these teams, all of their team personnel, the mechanics, everybody at these races, they have to be members too. So they're paying money to the AMA, who is supposed to protect the rights of us, and they're doing none of it. Yet you guys just keep shelling out the money, manufacturers, and don't even ask questions. Don't you have people there that ask these questions and want to know where this industry's going? Because you make money off bike sales. If nobody has any places to ride, you're not going to sell any bikes. And I know this is a dangerous sport and horrible things do happen sometimes. But I'll tell you what, I will put my kid out on a motocross track any day of the week before I'll have them get fat and depressed staring at an iPad. Now that is where we're at in this day and age where kids don't want to go out and be active. We need places like Lake Elsinore where they can get out, socialize with other kids, get off their devices. I honestly believe, yes, that is tragic. It's horrible that this young girl lost her life. I think it's more dangerous to stick your kids in front of an iPad bad and let them just veg out their brain and become uber consumers of all the garbage that's out there. That I would much rather have my kid at a motocross track than consuming all these corporations' lies in front of their computer and molding their minds into something that is un-American. Now, I don't like that. Now, I want these tracks to be open and I want them to run safely. And I'm a very big proponent of safety at tracks. And, if they do something explicitly really wrong, maybe there is a case for a lawsuit. But for the most part, a lot of things are just accidents. But as riders ourselves, we need to have respect for our fellow riders at the track. If somebody's down and you don't see a flagger, turn around, go back and flag for that person that's down. We all need to share this burden here in keeping these tracks open and making sure we have a place for the next generation to hone their skills. And I want the next generation to have the same opportunities I had. And if it keeps going the way it is, they won't. Which reminds me, get out and vote. Get out and vote on Tuesday. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I think you probably, if you watch my show, you know who I'm voting for or actually already voted for. So get out there. I saw a lot of these same people talking about all these weird topics that are all for specific rights. You know the rights I'm talking about, the ones that have to do with sexual orientation. I don't really care about those. I want everybody, you know what? Don't tell me about it. You don't tell me about yours, I won't tell you about mine. How about that? But those people, I saw them in full force voting. So everybody else, get out there. Don't assume that this thing's a slam dunk. Get out there, place your vote. Epic Garage Designs. And Travis rides Elsinore all the time, or should I say used to ride at Elsinore all the time. This is a big bummer for him. He likes that track. Now, anyway, check out Epic Garage Designs. You won't see Travis at Elsinore anymore because it's closed, but that's where he used to ride all the time. So check out epicgaragedesigns.com. Ride Strapped, a patriotic company. Get your goggles, get your Red Pill t-shirt. This is a company that believes in doing things for the next generation and kids. Support Ride Strapped. They definitely won't sue your local track. Precision Transport, a family-owned shipping company that gets your products where they need to go, when they need to be there. They give you a good tracking number, customer service, and a really affordable pricing when it comes to shipping. And that stuff's getting crazy these days. Now, the Vet Nationals at Glen, Helen, I really like seeing this. And this track is one of the best tracks ever. It's just a crying shame that they don't have an actual national there. And it came down to greed. Greed by MX Sports wanting too many tickets. They claimed complimentary tickets, which, yeah, Glen Helen had to give them to them, but they were in turn selling them. So it was about $100,000 in revenue. Instead of saying, hey, we couldn't come to financial terms with Glen Helen, Davey Coombs and his sister, they went out and tried to paint Bud Feldkamp as this crazy man that's just hard to deal with, which is not true. Clearly, it's not true because he's out there. He's doing his own live streaming with Motocross Action. He's making stuff happen. He's got a $100,000 privateer scholarship race type deal. So what he's doing is they have the stopwatch nationals like they had last year, the week before the nationals, in between, after Supercross, before nationals. All the guys are at Glen Helen prepping. So there's a race on Thursday, and the guys, factory and privateers, can race for their share of $10,000. Then privateers only come back on Saturday. It's a 4-day event, including amateurs and everything. It's going to be a really cool festival. So on that Saturday, they bring back all the privateers. Now the privateers race in a 450 and 250 class, and the top two finishing privateers, I believe it's combined results from both days, will win a $80,000 scholarship. They'll race that Saturday for another 10 grand, and then the top 4 riders will all be scholarships. So they get $5,000 per round that they compete in outdoor nationals. So they're sponsoring 4 privateers to go racing in MX Sports Series that they claim Bud is unreasonable. I think that's pretty damn reasonable if you ask me. He's supporting guys to go race the series who's actually talking smack on him. That's pretty damn cool. And like I said, it's a shame that Glen Helen doesn't have a national. And I hope the manufacturers realize this. It's time to step up. But the Vet Nationals turned out really cool. And the star of the show, Filthy Phil Nicoletti, decided to show up. And of course, Phil smoked the 30-plus guys. He kind of chilled in the second moto. He said it was gnarly out there, and he slowed down. And, there was a NPG off-road guy that kept him really honest. That guy was fast. But yeah, Phil made a little extra money. Is Phil the new Mike Brown? Is he just going to go around winning amateur races and just taking easy money? I say go for it, Phil. He's a pleasure to have at any event. Phil is one of the nicest guys. Yes, he's grumpy. Yes, he's got a weird attitude, but he is one of the genuinely nicest guys that you'll ever meet in the pits. Go say hi to Phil. He's not nearly as mean as he looks. KTM test rider and team manager or team personnel Ryan Morris won the 40 Pro class. And Mike Brown, yeah, the ageless Mike Brown, of course, won the 50 class. There's a lot of really fast guys. It's nice to see these older pros still getting to go race and make a little bit of money on the side doing it. And you know, the Vet Nationals pay pretty decent. I mean, honestly, if you take the payout, they probably make more purse money than the Nationals. And then we also had the Australian Supercross Series this weekend. Joey Savacci had a wild night. So he has a really bad first main event. They do the way they do the Supercross in Australia is they do 3 main events. They do the first 2 with a 5-minute break in between, almost like, you know, rounds, kind of like World Supercross does. And then they do a third main after that. So in the first main, he had a rough start, made a mistake, went off the track, way behind. So he's got to go out and win the next 2 and hope he gets some help. So he's winning the second one, and a lapper loses control right before the tunnel and forces him to jump off the side. He's about to fly off the side of the tunnel jump, and he wall rides their new safety netting. That wasn't there a week ago, they said. They said they just put that in. Wall rides it, still crashes, but he saved it enough. He had a big enough lead on Dean Wilson. He still won that main event. So Joey wins that one, wins the final one, and actually ends up the overall winner. He turned a really bad night into an absolutely awesome night. Dean Wilson was riding good, but I guess he got arm pump in that second one, because if he would have been closer to Joey when Joey made that mistake, he for sure would have won, but he backed off because he said he had arm pump and allowed Joey to have that lead to win. But Dean went 2-2-2. He said he thought he had the overall, but he did not. He was second overall. And Luke Clout is good, man, and he seems to be getting better each week. I don't know if he was coming in off an injury or not, but Luke Clout is getting better every week, and he did win that first main. He beat Dean Wilson. Dean caught him, but Luke Clout held on and took that first main event win. And in the 250 class, I love watching Shane McElrath ride a 250. This dude is good on a 250. I really wish he could ride one over here. He went 1-1-1 on the night, won everything. It was a harder packed track. We know Shane excels on hard packed tracks. He is gelling with that firepower 250, and he looks really good out there. I'm good on Shane McElrath having like a career resurgence now that he's able to ride the 250 in some other series, and that's really been a big deal for him to be able to do that. Because if you keep pushing this guy onto a 450, that might have been the end of Shane McElrath. Now that he gets to ride this 250, he's got another place to go win championships again and actually command some value, and we'll see where it takes him. But I like seeing guys not forced out of the 250 class. I think we should have 2 premier classes, 250 premier and 450 premier. And if you want to do, we can get into the whole East-West shootout, and we got plenty of the offseason to talk about that. But I don't think we should have an East and a West Supercross. I think we should have 1 250 class like World Supercross, and we need to make the futures kind of the East-West, kind of like that. We can have a feeder class, but let's treat it like a true feeder class. Let's not have a class that the factories invest in with money, because those sales on those 250s are just as important, if not more, than the 450s. So yeah, I honestly like the way that World Supercross and Australian Supercross allow 250 riders to stay in the class. And the Flyer Bandit was out again. He put this up all around Glen, Helen. Great job, my man. Great job. And I know he's taking some flack on the internet saying, oh, this guy, what is going on? Listen, this is perfect. He puts it out there, he tapes it up, and people are like, oh, you know, there's chat rooms. He's getting more publicity than any chat room because we're all looking at it and posting it and saying, dude, check this out. So it's actually way better. This guy is good at marketing. He has created a unique way, and it doesn't matter how you get your stuff noticed as long as it gets noticed. And he's spitting some facts in there. He's dead right, and I appreciate that he's out there standing up for the riders and the motocross community as a whole. So thank you, my man. Keep it up. Thank you to all the Cooksey Mob members. I really appreciate it. You guys help me a ton. And everybody who pays the $2.99 a month, you are all entered to win the Coach Rob custom painted CRS 60 helmet, which we'll be giving away before Anaheim. So everybody who has joined as a member will be included